Welcome everyone to a special episode of the CultureVerse podcast. It is just me and Caleb today as we are here to review Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's new movie. I do not know Caleb's review or his rating, but I'm here to disclose that today.
Let's go. He dropped it.
Yep, we did it.
I was
Okay,
hoping.
so Caleb, do you have your rating ready?
I do. I have a rating. That
You have
counts for
a
something.
rating. Okay. Why don't you
And
give that to us right now?
I am right now. This might change by the end of the episode.
Mhm.
I'm currently at a 3.5.
Okay, so I am currently at a 4.5.
Okay,
So we clearly like it more than we hated it.
that's
So
true.
we'll start
Okay,
with since we're on that side of the spectrum, we'll start with the negatives. What were some things that you saw that were like, nope, and that lowered your rating to 3.5?
my biggest problem is that I think a lot of this movie didn't really connect with me as far as lore goes. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of the plot points made sense. And what I say in my review a lot of times is I think this movie knows what it's trying to do. Spielberg obviously knows what his vision is, and I think it has a good it's important to him to make this movie.
Hmm.
He has a feel for the movie, like you can tell it's well crafted, is what I'm trying to say. I just feel like a lot of the nuances of like the story, like the how does this impact this, like story wise, like lore. The lore didn't really work for me,
Okay.
and in the way it didn't work for me is it didn't make any sense. It was just
It
kind of
didn't
like
make sense to you?
uh, to me, I felt like there was a lot of plot holes.
Okay.
That or at least details that got left on the table that could have been explained or was like kind of
Do you
introduced, but they don't really go into detail with
do
it.
you potentially have examples?
I do.
Okay.
I had a lot of questions in my review. I
Okay.
I have a whole thing where I say, who is Scanlan really? Is he like an alien? Who is Hugo? How does he know all this
Okay.
stuff? Who
Okay.
are the
Okay.
aliens? What is up with
Hmm.
Hugo? What's his
Hmm.
deal?
Hmm.
How
Okay.
did he just
Okay.
recreate her house? How does anyone know anything? Who is what and why?
You know, that is fair. I guess when I didn't really think of it that way, but those are very fair questions and questions that I actually can't answer for you. Um, Shoot, man, I didn't even think about that. I guess for me, I was just so immersed in the story and where it was going that I didn't even think to ask those questions. Um, but yeah, Hugo, who's Hugo and how he knows about everything is definitely a question that should have been answered.
Or
Um,
like his relationship with like Scanlan, like they like that conversation they have, it feels like they're like the vibe I was getting is like they feel like they know each other
old
already.
friends, yeah.
I mean, I know they work together, but like that's not like it felt more like they like understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't really get answered. And I was kind of thinking like maybe Hugo has powers himself or like Scanlan has powers because like he's able to use the thing,
Mm-hmm.
the wand. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
The neck. It's kind of like a necklace because like when they like the part where they like give them powers,
Mhm.
it kind of
Yeah,
feels like
no,
a
I know
necklace.
what it is. Like I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I just felt like I don't really know who these people are. Like, and
Yeah.
I think the movie, like you said, it was so immersive because it is. I think the mystery is really good. I was really didn't know how the movie was going to end the entire time. I was like very curious to see how this was going to go. I was excited for it, which is why I liked it because I was like not like, oh, I can't wait for this terrible ending. Like I was like, this is gonna be a fun ending, albeit I didn't really get to be locked in for the ending.
Yeah. Hmm.
No worries there. Um, I just think that I just feel like the screenplay wasn't really that great as far as the actual depth of the movie.
Hmm.
The problem I think that I have with this movie is that it feels very traditional. The way this movie is like presented to us, it feels very like old school in a way. Like it feels like a classic blockbuster, and it kind of feels like the
I
formula is very like a little bit like we can ignore some of those details. And it feels like a movie that if it was released in like 1987 would be a cult classic because back then you didn't really need to know who these characters are and what they're doing. But I feel like we've kind of progressed as a society in these sci-fi movies where we kind of want those smaller details. I don't know if that's just like how film has
I
changed, but
could not. I'm so glad you said that because I walked away from this movie thinking like it felt like an older movie,
yeah.
and with Spielberg directing it, with John Williams doing the score, it just I don't know. I just felt like a kid watching this movie, and that it hit obviously for me.
Yeah, and I
So,
like I said, I think the premise and the way they introduce it is really like who are these people? But I just feel like we
mhm.
don't really. find out. Like the
Hmm.
questions they pose are like very interesting, and I just don't really know if we capitalize on giving us more details. It just feels like there was lackadaisical details that were left on the table, and that just kind of bothered me at least.
If I had to attempt to answer potentially like your questions you had, my guess is that Spielberg was hinting at the fact that these people, Hugo and I can't remember the other guy, were working on this for a long time, for a while, and together to the point where they know all of this stuff. And obviously, we don't know the why, but because they've been doing it for so long, they have been able to dive into this their entire lives. And so when they find out about these two people, they are that is their main objective, and that is what they are trying to. Because obviously, it's called Disclosure Day because they don't because one side doesn't want to disclose and the other one does. And I think that is just the main premise of this movie is they are wanting the two people who know everything are on two opposite sides and are wanting to essentially win in
Yeah,
keeping it a secret or not.
and I
And I
guess
think
that's
that
just
was the main story, at least.
it is, and to me, this is kind of more like a chase movie. Like a lot of this stuff becomes like a
Hmm.
cat and mouse kind of game, which is why I equally don't understand why Scanlon just gives up. He's just like, oh, you know what?
Uh,
They won. It's. I've never seen a villain. It's like it's over. They're just like,
I think it's because she had the thing, first of all. And I also think it's because like it wasn't more so him giving up, it was more so him like, okay, I'll say yes, he's given up, but it's more so like, all right, you want this to happen, let's light this candle, let's do it.
and
And
that's
he just
true.
sits back and watches.
I guess he's just kind of like, let's just see how the world reacts. Because I mean, that is kind of like his whole spiel with Jade is trying to like
Hmm.
get that plant that seed in her head and other people's heads. I guess in the conversation with Hugo as well, where he's like, if we do this, this could they can't handle this. People can't handle this.
Hmm.
So I guess maybe he was
Yeah.
just like, I
Yeah,
guess
no, that premise is mentioned multiple times. Even the uh Jade and the other guy, the main guy, they have that full on conversation about that too. So
yeah. So I
yeah.
mean, I guess I can understand that a little bit. I can't understand, however, this might be the worst illogical FBI I have ever seen in my entire life.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually sighed out loud when they throw the car off the edge and they're like, what
Okay.
happened?
I mean,
Dude, they're the most advanced technological company in the world. They can't do like a scan or like
yeah,
they're not aware of
you
this
know,
route. They're like, they're gone. Like,
it was a
bro,
pretty I thought it was a pretty decent plan though. I mean, like
it
make
is, but like,
yeah.
come on. This is like what the villains were very dumb in this movie, in my opinion. I didn't think a lot of their choices made any sense. And that stems to their leader. And I guess maybe that's just how they've been trained. I don't know, man. I thought,
I do think this movie has a little bit of because I think it's like, an older style movie. I do think it has some of that childish tropes per se. Like, Indiana Jones style ET stuff.
well, yeah, there is a level of suspension of disbelief you kind of have to have, but I just
Hmm.
thought that the police force in this was so bad. Like when they like go across you remember that in that chase scene, that same chase scene when like go across a bridge and like they're just like swerving in the worst direction. I was like, this is supposed to be a cool car chase, and it just didn't work for me because I didn't think their choices made any sense. They're like, shoot the tires, and then they get shot at three more times for the rest of the chase, and like I get it. There is a little bit of that, like, okay, I shouldn't be that cynical about this movie.
Hmm.
But there is a part of me that's like, okay, you're Steven Spielberg, man. Like, why are we having like more
Yeah.
illogical parts of your characters when you know better? Like, I know you know better. So like that was a little disappointing. Quite honestly, that was kind of my only two cons.
Okay.
Is just the fact that I think the lore of the movies didn't really I just feel like the lack of depth was blatant, and I didn't really understand some of the villain choices. um, or like how our characters even worked themselves. Like, who are they in a way, which I guess goes to the depth. But I don't really have any like specific. Like I've been talking about a few specifics that I was like that was dumb. But a lot of this I just didn't really connect with on its own.
Hmm.
But we can get into some good now. So I mean, we can flip it to
Well,
you for some good
well,
because
I'm gonna continue
if
this
you have some
trend of
cons, yeah.
negativity. So I gave it a 4.5, obviously. So obviously I'm not gonna have many. I actually only have one main con, although your beginning arguments were valid. It just I didn't even think about it, but it clearly didn't affect me because, like you said, this movie, like I said, this movie's so like mesmerizing almost that you can just really just sit back and just experience it. But my main con is the ending. I walked away thinking that's how it ends because the entire leading up to the ending, the entire uh disclosure of the aliens was so good, and I think it was the best part of the movie. It felt so like it seriously felt like if aliens were actually exposed to us, I feel like that's how the world would react, and I thought it was done amazingly. The anchor did an amazing job
Yeah, she
acting
did.
wise. That was so good.
She did.
Um, but then just for the alien to go and speak to Emily Blunt, and then to for her just to go on screen and to say listen, and the movie just ends. I was like, okay, what that's how it ends.
I
Was not a
mean,
fan of that. I
no,
could have gone for another like 30 minutes.
I would have taken another 30 minutes too because I had no problem with the pacing. I mean, it's a 2.5 hour
Yeah.
movie and I didn't really feel long at
Yeah.
all, which is
Hmm.
pretty impressive. I think I did feel very realistic with how they were like disclosing the information. I gotta see if we're using that word. I can't think of a different word right now. Exposing it is a good word. Um, but I guess that kind of goes with my lore thing too. Like, why is this one person they kept, this one alien they kept? Is this the
Yeah.
one that gave them their powers?
Dude,
Who
I
is this person?
maybe it might be, but dude, I seriously thought when they brought that thing out because you couldn't see it in the wrapping, I seriously thought it was ET for a second, and I thought we were about to
Um,
get some universal cameo of all time, and I was like, oh my God, because it kind of the way his head was shaped, I was like,
yeah.
that's ET, bro. It was not. It
That
was not.
actually would have been kind of hilarious if it was
Yeah, I would have.
E.T. tied. It's actually the E.T. sequel.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. I guess like is it the one from the like the torturing videos? Because like it is like an old
It's very
alien,
possible
I
because
think.
they take them as kids, and it's been probably 30 years since
Well,
that
yeah,
experience.
and
You know,
like the
so we don't know how
70s
the
when they
aliens age, but you know.
yeah like when the 70s like when he's showing her that like torture video or the interrogation. I guess is it
Mhm.
that one? Like they rescued that one specifically. Like what? That's just like the one
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like there's a lot of questions that could be
I
answered
think,
very brief. Like you can just give like a small piece of dialogue. Hey,
yeah.
we this person's from the 70s. Okay, that adds a little bit of lore to it instead of just so, there's a level of ambiguity you can have in sci-fi because it's more of that like you kind of build the lore yourself a little bit.
Hmm.
When there's no details, that kind of takes me out of the element a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Did you? I guess I had something for the ending too. Yeah, I guess I don't I didn't really care. I kind of thought the listen part was like a fourth wall break.
I think it was too.
To me, it
I
was like a
think it was
fourth wall
too.
break. Like you should be listening for these signs. Sure. Like okay, I don't know. I wasn't like offended or disappointed. It was fine to me. Which
I guess it's probably because I love the movie so much that like for it to end like that, it was just like,
it
give me
does feel
more.
very anticlimactic. I actually agree with that because like
Hmm.
that whole sequence of the like the clips is really cool and it's like very like it is upsetting to see. It's like insane how he
Hmm.
made that like so upsetting. But like yeah, it does end very like one word response that is probably a fourth wall break.
Yeah, it
Eesh.
definitely is. Yeah.
So, well, you can start us on some good since we went for about 50 minutes. All bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, my goods. I have a lot of them, obviously. I thought, like I said earlier, there's some childish moments in this movie. I thought this movie was quite funny. Like
Mm,
Wyatt Russell specifically, he's not in it for very long, but when he's in it, he's hilarious. Um, the acting obviously is really good. Emily Blunt, especially when she sees the house, that scene, she does amazing. Coleman Domingo obviously knocks it out of the park. Um, John Williams, the score, of course, goes crazy. Camera work, I think is some of the best outside of maybe Project Hail Mary this year. I I thought it was amazing. Um, the whole thing with learning about Audrey's past and her as a kid, outside of the exposure scene at the end, was probably my second favorite moment from the movie. Just sitting back and watching how she became what she is was mesmerizing to me. Obviously, like I just said, the exposure scene was by far the best part of the movie. Um, yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I get the first thing I put in my review that I agree with for your good is the acting is really good.
Hmm.
Um, Emily Blunt is incredible. I think of that one scene where she sees the house is great too, but I think the panic attack scene
Yes.
was
Did that? Yeah,
incredible.
I
Like that's
felt that.
phenomenal stuff. Like it
Yeah.
actually looked realistic, which I
Hmm.
don't even know how you act that way.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt, I will say though, I think she's been getting Oscar buzz for this. I know you don't really care this much, but I do. I don't see it. Like, it's a great performance. It's not an award-winning performance, in my opinion. I think some people are like, it's gonna sweep. I'm like, it's good. It's a great performance, but I'd be a little surprised. Um, I like Josh O'Connor in this too. Colin Firth is actually really good too,
Hmm.
as the villain. I know I didn't really love his character very much, but I think he does a very good performance of like anger and sadness and confusion. You can't really read his face very often, which kind of also makes me think he's an alien too.
When he's
Uh,
talking to Jane and it keeps panning back and forth to him, you can clearly see his like body like deteriorating or something.
yeah.
You know, he was really good in that moment.
And like the part he can like you can like the way he's able to like be able to talk to her and talk to the people like back at and he's like
Hmm.
switching
Yeah.
his emotion like
Yeah.
it's that he had a really good performance I think is being not being talked enough about. Um my favorite parts of this movie is when like you're letting Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor like riff in a way. They're not riffing obviously, but those moments where they're able to bounce off each other very well, like the whole scene where they
Hmm.
meet each other. My favorite scene of the entire movie probably is when she a lot of people don't actually like this scene. I figured out is the scene where she walks in and she like saves him, not
Hmm.
and she does like sh appearing herself as other people. I guess some people are like that's stupid because they just let her walk away. I mean, I'd be pretty jarred too if someone I hadn't seen in
Yeah.
years like just appeared to me.
No,
That would be. I thought that
it
scene was amazing,
I thought
and
it was good too. I can see why people would say that. However, I obviously lean towards it would make sense.
I think it would make sense too.
I
Uh,
think it's a little extreme, just a little bit, that she went to every single person, and
yes.
just so happened every single person had somebody like that.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
also, and with that being said, it actually goes back to another little small critique is the one dude she doesn't convince. He's like, how does she convince everybody except for this one
yeah,
guy? This one guy she doesn't appear to.
because he's an
Sure.
alien.
Sure, man. Like, okay. Regardless, that is a great scene. I think that's the whole
Hmm.
messaging too, is like the empathy part of it. Like that's how they say that's like their weapon, is they use empathy. I think that was a
Hmm.
great scene. I love that. And then that whole part getting to the house from where they meet each other, I think that's probably the best part of the movie. And then it kind of gets just ramps up a little bit. That's not to say I didn't like the first part. I think the first part is solid too.
Hmm.
The intensity of when she sees the bird, the cardinal, to when she starts speaking in alien, it's very rapid. That whole scene, that
Hmm.
whole sequence is very
No, like
rapid.
the like first like 20 minutes of the movie flies by. I mean, you open the movie with this very intense um
Standoff.
government chase. Yeah, like it's a very interesting way to start the movie, and it continues it for the next like 15, 20 minutes. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think they started off great, and then you start getting some character building between Daniel and Jane, and
Hmm.
you're learning more about them a little bit. I think there are good sequences. Like I said, I like this movie because it
Hmm.
is very traditional, and I think it works for at times. But my favorite parts are when you're letting Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt just work off each other, and I think the whole part with and then the train. I didn't even think about the train scene. The train scene was awesome. I loved
Yeah.
it. I was like, because when she had her leg off the edge, I was like, oh my God, like,
Hmm.
like
And
let's
it looked really
go.
good too. Like the effects wise, it looked really good.
Oh yeah, when the
So
car's like scraping on the train, like that
yeah.
was really cool.
Hmm.
Um, I I was trying to think of like the other. I liked the camera work is interesting. I think it is good. I like how they're able to like it's like the blocking part of like the scene where it's like non-traditional shots too, where it'd be like Coleman Domingo's face is like in the front. You can like see it in the front. You know what I mean? And it's like you can see past him. That's really
Hmm.
unique.
Like through a window reflection or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
there was like really weird like scenes where like it would be like focused on the camera's like here and his face is like here and then like it would like swing forward into like someone like in the background and that kind of
Hmm.
like takes him out of frame. There were some really cool parts with like just like a swinging the camera.
Yeah, there was a lot of shots where like you were just completely turning the camera upside down.
Yeah,
I love those shots.
it,
Those
it
were
did.
great.
It did feel like he knew what he was. Obviously, Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg, he knows what he's doing with that.
Hmm.
Um, um, I'm trying to think of like what were some other things you said? Like there were so many things you said, and I was like, I gotta get back to that. I gotta get back to that. I gotta get back to
So I
that.
said the camera work. I said the score, obviously with John Williams, Coleman, the acting, Coleman
Yeah.
Domingo, Emily Blunt. I thought it was humorous.
Yes. Okay. The humor is actually there was an old guy in my theater. It was an old guy and like his daughter, I'm guessing.
Hmm.
He cracked up like 4 or 5 times. He was like,
Dude, no,
I was like, dude, that's okay. He was
there's
making
a
me
lot of
laugh.
funny moments throughout this movie.
It,
It's quite funny.
it was kind of like when we saw President Taylor Mary and that guy in front of us was laughing the entire time.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
kind of like that for me. Where there was a guy to my he was dying the entire time. But the
The
funniest part, dude, the scene where she's trying to break the phone in the
Oh
rain.
yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
my, dude, I was actually laughing out
Honestly, the
loud.
entire hospital scene when Wyatt Russell's like so lost at what the fuck is happening because she's going crazy basically, and he's acting normal, but because it was so good. Also, when she started speaking, what was she speaking when she saw the cardinal and Wyatt Russell was just sitting there like, "What are you doing?"
Oh no,
That was
when she
so
starts
good.
talking in Russian
Yeah.
and he's like,
Oh my God.
"What?"
So good. So good.
Uh, I loved the scene where she was trying to break the phone. I was like, she's like, "Oh, you keep." She gets out and she moves it in front of it. Keep going. Or like when she tells the kid that he's like, "Hey, Mister." She's like, like that
Yeah.
wasn't even that funny, but it was just hilarious. I do have a
Yeah.
question about something though. So the scene where she is talking in a different language, how would you or and she's like on broadcast?
Yeah.
Um, how would you describe that scene? What emotion or like how would you just what you know what I'm saying? Like how would you describe that scene in one word?
I want to say first word that comes to mind immediately is confusion. At least from
Okay,
watching it, from like let's say I'm in this in quote universe, watching it live would be an experience for sure. It was
like
also kind of unsettling almost.
okay, that's what I
The
was going for. Like
clicking noise,
how you were feeling?
yeah,
Yes.
the clicking noise was like
Oh,
okay,
it's weird. It's creepy. I
yeah.
was hoping you would say that because the guy laughed during that part.
Oh, okay.
He was like, ha ha ha. I was like, this is not funny. What
Yeah,
is what
this
do I?
is
That's why I wanted to ask you. I was like, did you think that was funny at all? Because that was not
no,
funny.
no, it was not funny.
So that was I just wanted to because we were talking about the humor that just reminded me of that. Um,
Hmm.
I will say about the score, I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit. It's not bad. It's just
Hmm.
it's clearly not his best. It
No.
Dude, John Williams is like not how he's like
But
95.
I got major like Indiana Jones ET kind of vibes from it. Like even like the chase scenes were very Indiana Jones like, and then obviously anything involving aliens was very ET like, and it's just,
I guess I like the part where it was like more whimsical, but like I
yeah.
really wasn't
It's
like,
no
wow, this
Jurassic
score
Park.
is crazy. Man,
It's no Harry Potter, but yes, it's yeah. It was good. It's John Williams.
it
It's
was
gonna
good, but
yeah.
I don't know. I can't say if it was great. I just feel like they didn't really use. To be honest, I didn't really like. I was never like, oh, the score is really good right now. There's a couple moments I can think of right now where I was like, the score
I just
is
think
good.
there was moments and scenes like when we are going through Audrey's past where
That's one of the scenes I was thinking
the
of.
music just like amplifies the moment, and obviously that's
Yeah,
what your composer is supposed to do in movies like this, and I thought he did John Williams level stuff. So
yeah. That was just a small thing. I didn't really like. I thought it was good, but I don't know if I would call it great. That's just the thing I wanted to say. I don't usually say scores are not like amazing because usually when you point it out, you think they're good or like really good. But that was just
mm,
something. Like another one of my pros with the acting and like the way they're able to go off each other with their chemistry is I just think the pacing. I want to reiterate the pacing of this movie is really good. When I realized this movie was, I realized before I saw it, but I was like, this movie's 2.5 hours. Like that's daunting, especially
no,
for a
yeah,
movie especially for a movie that like wasn't really getting the best reviews. Like I can't like that totally dictate my feelings going into it, but it does a little bit. Like a two
mm,
and a half hour movie that's getting like rough reviews. Like, eesh. But the
yeah, no,
pacing's fine.
I think majority of the audience is very split on this movie.
very. And I
Like
think,
Letterboxd is 3.3, but I think just like consensus wise, it's very people either really liked it like me or people really did not like it.
I guess I fall in that really weird middle gray area where I
Yeah.
liked it, but like I can see the flaws. That I think
Hmm.
that's kind of my reasoning is I see both. It's hard for me to play middle ground. I know I'm playing the sheep part for
Yeah.
this movie, but I really did think it was just like I liked it more than I didn't like it. But just the pacing itself, the pacing was awesome. I think they did a great job with it.
Hmm.
There was no problems with me as far as boredom. I think
No.
because it's just always it's pretty go go go. There's not really a lot of
Hmm.
stopping, and there really the most stopping is towards the back half of the movie, and it's all the exposition. It's like all the it's where the majority of your lore is coming in,
Yeah.
and
Like the
that's
conversation
interesting.
with Coleman Domingo's character and that other guy.
Yes,
I can never remember his name. And
Scanlon,
then
Noah
yeah.
Scanlon, I think, or
Yeah, no, that scene was really good.
um. So yeah, the pacing was really good. I never felt bored. I think it's then he knows what he's doing. Like I said, the craft is it's there. The structure was really good, and I
Hmm.
think something that I didn't know realize until this is, I guess, a question I wanted to ask you. One of my main questions I would ask you is this the first Spielberg movie you've seen in theaters?
Uh, from my memory, yes.
Did you see Ready Player One in theaters?
Nope.
Then I
I've never
think,
seen it in general,
oh,
so
you haven't? Okay.
nope.
Well, then the only new ones he's made, I guess, unless you saw something like re-released. Did you see anything like re-released in theaters?
No, not really.
Then yeah, this is,
Mhm.
which was very insane to say. I guess because like he hasn't really released a lot of like big movies in our lifetime, I guess. Like The Fablemans came out in 2022, but I didn't even know that existed until recently.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, no, I've
and I wasn't seeing Lincoln when I was 9 years old, so
what? Come on. Yeah, no. That this is it. This is my first Spielberg movie in theaters.
which
So,
when I realized that, I was like, wow, that's
yeah.
insane to say. But I guess he is.
Well,
I mean, he's
yeah.
old, so it's he isn't like
And
he's
all of
not.
his good movies came out before we were even born, so it's
That,
not like we
that's what I'm
can do
saying.
anything about that.
Yeah, his first big movie was made in 75, so like
My
but
mom
it is
wasn't even born.
same. My
So,
parents weren't born either, so it's just
yeah.
insane that like um this is our first Spielberg movie in theaters, and I guess you know
Yeah.
yeah, he's old, so it's pretty impressive he's able to
Hmm.
pump these out like this and still have at least good results for us. So um
Well, I think we're dying down, but I want to bring something up real quick. It wasn't a con for me, but it's like if I had to change something about this movie, having the aliens be your design wise be your default alien look was kind of disappointing. I like
I can
the
agree.
little big black-eyed guys. I just feel like you could have done something a little bit more creative than that, but it obviously did not affect anything at all. But
I guess it
yeah.
goes back to that traditional feeling we've been getting from the movie where it just feels like that traditional alien. I guess I
Hmm.
do. I mean, I agree. Remember when they posted that like thing like a week before the movie came out? I was like, the aliens revealed, and I was like,
Yeah. I didn't look at it at
oh,
all because I
okay.
didn't want to know.
I did see that. So you know when it like flips perspective, like
Hmm.
for in the actual movie, like when it flips from like the deer to the alien,
Yep.
I
That
was
was
like,
really good. That was so good.
that was the thing they posted like a week before the movie came out. And I saw it and I was like, that's the alien. Like I was like, they were
Yeah,
like, this is aliens reveal, and I was like, it's the most basic. Like
alien thing of all
I
time.
don't have a
Yeah.
problem with it, but like, why are we like?
We literally
That's
have
a
an
whole spiel.
emoji on our phones for it.
Yeah, I was like, I could go to whole spiel on about that, but
Uh,
I'm
uh,
not even mad about that.
speaking of the aliens and one funny moment from the aliens when they're showing the clips and there's the one scene where the three little aliens are walking with the people. The way they were walking was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Like they were plug walking, bro. It was so good.
yeah, the short ones didn't make it. It did look a little silly. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
All right, I got nothing else.
I'm good too. So
All right. Well, that is going to be the end of this review. Obviously, me and Caleb lean more so on the positive side of this thing, but we want to know what you think. Did you like this, or is this one of the rare flops from Steven Spielberg? Let us know in the comments, and we will see you next time.